When I got back from my vacation, my garden was full of produce, things I had to harvest. And this is what the garden looks like right now. I do need to do a little more weeding, but it's so busy right now harvesting, I really don't have much time to get out here and do a lot of weeding. So the greenhouse is empty. I just cleaned it out and took all of the herbs that were drying and I put them in brown paper bags and I have them stored away. Today we're going to harvest some calendula and some marshmallow leaves, and that we're going to dry together because that is going to be for my healing salve later on in about a month that we will make. So let's go out in the garden and find some of my herbs. So here's some calendula, and most of it is out of my garden. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to harvest the flowers. So what we want is the flowers. Now, a lot of people make oil infusions using fresh flowers or fresh leaves. That never works for me. It always molds. So I wait until my herbs are all dried. And when the herbs are dried, then I make an infused oil. Okay, so let's go out in the garden and get the rest of them. So even if you don't like herbs, planting things like echinacea is beautiful. Do you see all the monarch butterflies? And it helps bring the bees into your garden, and it helps pollinate all of your things. The butterflies are beautiful, and they are really, really in abundance this year. I think this is because it's my second year of growing echinacea. Now, echinacea was something I gave you all last year, and a lot of you said that it didn't grow for you. Echinacea does not produce a flower the first year. It has to be the second year. And a lot of times it will be a small, tiny leaf. And a lot of people think it's a weed, but actually it's not a weed. So I would recommend you try growing echinacea again. It's very easy to grow. It's just in the beginning, it just looks like a tiny little leaf. Here is the marshmallow leaves. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take some of the flowers and the leaves, and that we are going to dry. And marshmallow leaves are really good for moisturizing your skin, and they're also very good for many different properties. So we harvest everything. We harvest everything but the stem. I only want to harvest what I can use. Now we will dry these both together because I'm going to be using them together. This is mugwort. Later this week we're going to harvest all of it, and I'm going to make an herbal wreath with it. So that is mugwort, and it's about 6 feet tall. The sunchokes are about, I have no clue, 10 feet tall. Beautiful. Now calendula goes to seed really quick. So I need to harvest all of these seeds so I have them for next year. As you know, I'm trying to not spend money, and so one of the things is by saving seeds, especially of your herbs like this, it can really save you a lot of money. Herbs are an in thing right now, and so people charge an enormous amount of money for herbs, and most of them reseed themselves. So I need to get out here and get these seeds. I do plan on next year starting to sell my own seeds. I'm really working on a lot of things with my channel, and you guys are going to have to wait until next year, and we're going to have some fun things coming up with herbs and all kinds of things. And there is my basil. I'm going to be harvesting that too. hopefully today yet, because we have a project we're going to use with the basil. My roses didn't do very well this year, and that's partly my fault. I was not feeding them properly. It's just, I was really busy this year with producing food. It seemed like food was a big thing for me this year. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to harvest some roses. This is all going to be dried together, and we're going to use this to infuse once it's all dried. In the greenhouse, it doesn't take more than a week to dry everything. So I am really happy to have that greenhouse to dry all of my herbs. It's amazing. That greenhouse is absolutely amazing. Someday I would like to have another one and have it out in the garden. I think that would be so neat. All right, so this is what we got. This is perfect amount for what I need, and we'll put it in the greenhouse. And that trellis is getting very, very full. So the beans are growing in the trellis. My loofah sponges, there's no flowers on the loofah yet. Oh, I always have such issues with the loofah. I even started it back in February. I just hope my growing season's long enough for it. All kinds of squash. I have all kinds of pumpkins and squash that I'm growing. That way when I harvest my whole garden, I still have the squash. It can take over the garden and I won't have to worry about weeds. So that's one thing I'm really working on. That way when I harvest everything, I don't have bare ground. So the squash is just going crazy. I have all kinds of different gourds. Some that you can make your own dinner bowls with to eat out of. I have some for bird houses. All kinds of things. So I'm hoping that they do really well. So here are my sunflowers. One is called Teddy Bear. And I have some of these up here. These were all seeds given to me, but I'm going to save my own seeds so I have them for next year. And sunflowers are so easy to save your seeds. There's something just about sunflowers are beautiful. So I am really happy to have these. Now everybody said the marigolds are growing, and these are about 3 feet high, and they'll get taller, and it's actually half shaded here. So everybody's talking about the marigolds and how they're growing nice. I'm getting so many photographs of people of the seeds that they got last year. For those of you that are new on my channel, last year I had a 10,000 subscriber giveaway. I gave away over 700 packs of seeds free of charge because a generous person gave me all of the envelopes, and so I didn't have to pay for anything other than the hours that it took to put all of those seeds in packets. So there are 700 people that have gotten seeds from me, and someday I'm going to share with you all their photographs because a lot of people are sending them in. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest these. This is more calendula. And the more you pick the flowers, the more flowers you get. So it's always important to pick your flowers or they will go into seed head even quicker. So it's important to pick your flowers, pick your herbs, harvest all of this, because the more you harvest, the more you're going to get. By watching my videos, you start enjoying herbs a little more, and you don't have to have a garden. You can grow all of these herbs in pots anywhere outside your house where it gets mostly full sun. I hope you enjoy these little things in life, and I hope you start taking a hobby of working with herbs. It's so beautiful. Even if you don't like making your own homemade soaps and things like that, just growing them, just for the visual effect that they gives you a lot of peace of mind, and it also gives you a hobby that's something that's worth doing. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow.